struggle, I would say. I think a lot of concern in their faces of all this accounting faculty. The common concern that I can see from them is that, am I going to become irrelevant of all this automation and AI? You know, I'm developing accountant, but accountant is being replaced by all this software and all this AI. So what am I teaching? And they heard about AI, they heard about data analytics, and they're lost. They don't know how to move from accounting to data science, or let's call it accounting plus plus. They need that. They know it's coming. They know they are in a bit of crisis, you can say that, because the transformation is coming. The wave of this IT transformation is coming. But what have they done? I think they are at a loss. So they were there, a lot of them. Basically, I think in their mind is, okay, I want to teach accounting plus plus. And what is a plus plus? So it's all about turning them to become critical thinkers. Not just accountant, but accountant that analyze, accountants that are forensic, accountants that can see certain problems, something that the robot cannot do. So they are trying to do that. And one of the things that they need is data analytics. So it's a very big subject. Almost 70% of the workshops are about data analytics. You've got SAS, have you heard of SAS?
Yes.
You've got Power BI, you've got Tableau, you've got a lot of this. And they all attend workshop, open their laptop, trying to key in data, Power BI, they do that. All of them. I mean, they're not young, yeah. I mean, they are probably senior teacher, but they get their hands on the screen and trying to, do the chart and all that. So that's what people are looking for now. They're going data analytics in a very big way. Same thing with management, same thing. I'm sure it's the same thing with management, accountant, whatever, marketing. Now, Monsoon Sim came in a very, very good moment because a lot of those workshops that I've attended personally, I went to their workshop, BI, Power BI, whatever, Tableau, R and all that, they all use mock-up data. They just say, okay, now I'm going to teach you Power BI. I'm going to teach you Tableau. But here, first you have to download a set of data. And what is the data? And the data that they download, it's something different from what they're teaching. It's a very standard kind of data, right? Okay, you download something, it's some data, and it's limited in terms of the variables. So I think first they want to learn Power BI and Tableau, which is good, but now they have a problem with data because the data doesn't connect to them. They have to try to first understand the data. So what is this data about? Oh, it's about, okay, this is about this, some data about ice cream, some data about this, and it's already there, and you can't change it because we're talking about 10,000 records. How can you change it in such a quick way? So the connection to the data is not there. So that's where the Monsoon Sim comes in. Every game of Monsoon Sim, we have about 10,000 records. Every game. So if you can collect 10 games, 20 games, 30 games, you can have your own big data that belongs to you, belongs to the student, right? And we have the big data, you can do anything you want. You can, right? So I think when we demonstrate Monsoon Sim, I think they were very, very happy to see that, okay, so now I see the difference. I can take Monsoon Sim, pump the data out, and use data analytic tools on it. Okay? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Any question on that? Yes.
About the exporting the data now, right?
Yes.
It's like a bee. I try myself together with the schools of the analytics
Yes.
and in Thailand of
Yes.
teaching the master degree called NIDA
Yes.
one, right? I found some difficulty that I let you know before about downloading the data.
Yes.
Actually, for each company they have
Yes.
their own data,
Yes.
but it must be good in terms of the comparing of the
Yes.
data for overall 10
Yes.
virtual companies.
Yes.
That one is hardly to download right now.
Yes.
That's why I require you to put the download all the data
Yes.
and every transaction.
Okay.
That one, if you can develop, will be great. And also want some of the data that already passed and you
Yes.
cannot backward. For example, forecasting or
Yes.
whatever, right? And also the fluctuations of the rental or something like that. That one unable to download or track it back. In terms of if you consider that one, if you help to learn the data analytics more.
Okay. Yeah, I give you some good news on that one.
Yep.
In version 8, you should be able to see in live access. Yes. So you are not just export, download, upload. Will actually allow you to just go straight to the data, to the table. And we will have all kinds of tables there that you can just execute straight to the table. And the table will be so denormalized that you can easily get the data and then you can massage the data. That's where you learn. Now, this data is almost infinity. Then we have a lot of fields. So we get your input. You can tell us what you want. So actually Melbourne University currently is working on a set of tables that they want us to give them access to. So once we have the table ready, then you can just plug in, each game will probably get a passcode and a password, and then you can go straight to the database and do the data analysis and analytics. And that's what we call live access. So all this download, upload, you don't need it anymore.
So it's like the student can do their own query?
Yes.
Okay.
That's what we want.
Okay.
We want the student to be able to power up their whatever.
So they can create their own dashboard, right?
Yes.
Okay.
They can create their own dashboard and all that. And our hope is...
When is it going to be?
We'll try. If you come to Penang, you definitely see it.
So are you going to have a workshop or something for trainers to use processing and then trans?
Yeah, we need to do that. We need to do that. We need to have some workshop and yes.
January. Yes. Next week, upcoming Jan.
Yes.
We'll just give them the time frames about our Penang sessions.
Penang session
Which
is
date
January,
and which month,
January
and then you can book
16
the tickets.
16 to 19 Penang. Please.
2020.
16 to 19 in Penang.
January.
January.
Yeah. You can book your date.
16
Set
to
your
19.
date.
What we will show you version 8. We will show you the live access. We will show you the ELO rating, the rating system.
I think what Dr. Charles need maybe the special workshop for certified trainers.
Yes.
Yes.
Right.
In terms of you
Maybe
can
do it
add
in
to
the-
that
in
table,
the
that would be
Penang.
would be
We'll probably
good.
do it in Penang.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we will try to invite Melbourne University to come because they are the expert in that area. And they will
Dr. David.
Okay.
do the
The
workshop.
one to
Direct
share.
direct, yes.
The one to share last year.
So we have a serious workshop in Penang for this data analysis.
Okay.
Today we are not serious, is it?
Okay. All right. Any
I
other?
am not only troublemaker here.
Just remember that you specified 20 day frequent period. Is it possible for you to allow us to download the say from day 1 to day 120?
When we give you that, you can download the whole lot.
Okay.
Yeah, we are still bargaining. We are still arguing with Melbourne University whether we want allow one team to look at the data from another team. Or the teacher can decide. Maybe the teacher can decide whether we allow you to look, you know, at the other team.
ไม่สำหรับการเรียน yes
That is good.
prediction and forecasting yes ถ้าเกิดสำหรับการแข่งไม่ใช่อยู่แล้ว
So there's no more limitation on how many. Yeah, but it's definitely is a past history. Okay. Okay, you guys have time. I can share a little bit more about version 8. Someone mentioned about foreign
exchange
transaction. In version 8, we will have import, right? A real import.
oh I see
So our current currency thing will be phased out. We'll put a real import. So one of the vendors, you can set, okay, this vendor is an importer. So when that vendor, they will quote you on US dollar, where your local currency is probably ringgit. Yeah. So, and the teacher can control who is the importer, who is not. So you can see, okay, so this is import. So this is in dollar and this is ringgit. So it teaches the student about importing. And a huge impact, why? Number one is, when you buy something in US dollar, you book on the rate of that day. Right? Let's say Malaysia ringgit. At that spot price. When you pay a month later, the price has changed, the fluctuation. And that will go into your forex gain or forex loss. Right? And that will give them a lot of, you know, expose the students to a lot of those. I think Paramit has been asking for this for a long time.
yes
2 years already.
and also something that I asked is about the maybe actually the Mansusin can capture all the transaction, right? As a trainer or as a lecturer, we would like to know student A what roles that they play on the game, and seriously, what is the angle that they haven't paid, something like that. They haven't learned on that angle. This is a thing that I request for 3 years already.
Yes, and that is, we can put that in. Okay. It's very good idea. We are going to have learning outcome based on individual. We're going to see, okay, this particular individual execute how many transactions. And what is the transaction, what does it belong to? Is it belong more to human resource? How many percent human resource? How many
Something
percent
like that.
this? And this student, how many percent in finance and so on, right? And we will also have, you know, investment module.
And one of the things that I think Mansusin is supposed to support all the lecturers about the researchings. For example, if you can, let's say like a co-program together with Mansusin, together with the university in the research. Because I think on our duties, right, we have to complete 1 or 2 research a year, something like that, right? Right. So in terms of if you, let's say like a next upcoming event or whatever in next 2 or 3 years, we have a section that they can share the research across the university. That would be great.
Can you explain more?
The thing is like, I think it's that the pronunciation is a sort of like conference, right? So like you maybe have a session where the CT can present their research on like Mansusin, or maybe get the CT to do the research together.
Sharing research findings.
Yeah, or maybe raise the funding.
Just like what you did, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and how long do we need? And what is the format? Is it round table or what?
Yeah, a session could do, right?
A session similar like this.
A panel or something like that, right? Yeah.
Or maybe we just talk about the topics that we can do across and help and trade for the data together, and everyone will enjoy the data and to put to the research. But that research is based on Malaysia compared to Thailand, or Filipinos compared to Malaysians, something like that. In terms of student behavior, learn whatever practice, something like that.
Is that something like this but more serious?
Yes.
Yeah.
Troublemaker enough already. I'm troublemaker.
In SUSS, We wrote paper that's for experiential learning. So I think Jonathan presented one paper together with me. No. He did it in June, so you can get the article from him. It's an international conference. It's about we use experiential learning monsoon, and we also had another course is overseas experiential learning, bringing the student over. So combine the two ideas. We write a research paper. It's a conference paper. So I think the idea is that we can actually do a conference format, just present how we use monsoon, but it's not from the teaching perspective, but it's from the research angle.
Oh,
Yes.
It's from the research angle, like methodology and so on. So the paper that we did is based on the teaching methodology.
So it's like more like a research format.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I'm Grace from Hasanuddin University. On October 2009, I have conference about the topic is engine research paradigm in business economic beyond industrial revolution 4.0. Mr. Abdi is the one guest invited speaker from the conference. So you can send your paper in this conference. I have sent this brochure in the group.
And discount for certified trainer.
So, as I said, we want to consider going to the conference to put up our papers. Yeah, there's a good platform for that one as well. But we
And
will
that
think about
conference,
it, yeah,
and
for
the
the meeting
conference
one.
have two sessions, academic session and business session.
Yep.
There you have. Edwin, what do you think? Do you have any input on it?
What you say about forex, I think I was going to introduce hedging.
Hedging.
Yes.
Oh, very good idea. Yes.
Yeah, because
So,
it's closely related to
very good idea. So, aside from import, we are going to have investment. We're going to start investment very simple. We're going to start with just forex, fixed deposit investment. So someone can just hedge by buying foreign dollars, and just keep it and then see what happens. And eventually maybe expand a little bit beyond just that. Maybe some bonds, maybe some whatever later.
because I'm actually looking for accounting and finance
Yes.
perspective, so we can introduce like forex schemes and hedging will be applied by the
Yes, there will be something that you can hedge against.
That's
Or for, yeah.
Two things. You have currently only one ratio, if I'm not mistaken, current ratio.
Yes.
Perhaps if you can put other types of ratios,
Yes.
so that students can use their ratios to assess the.
Yes. Financial ratios, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
financial
Yeah,
If you have any ideas, send it to us. We are happy to learn and then to adapt. Any ratio at all? Because I was doing a trainer for Penn State University, and one of the things in America is very hot. It's about sustainability. So they wanted to know the KPI is like the ratio is how sustainable their business is, right? So there's also environmental issue coming in and all that. So it fits very well with our machine. So today our machine has a capacity, but we don't really capture the carbon footprint, right? So we could start capturing some the carbon footprint and the waste, right? And the waste generated out of that.
Too much.
Right?
Personally, I think too much.
Right, sensitive issue. Right.
Yeah.
It's a global issue now, right? Waste is. So you may want to. There will be some, sustainable, the kind of index coming and so on.
And then there's another thing. When we introduce Mosusin to corporates, they see it as a complete business process software, not as a platform to learn ERP. So they were asking me like, can we assess the performance of a company, teams, in terms of how much money they have spent for training, for example, and also for corporate social responsibility? I couldn't respond to the question.
Yeah, we are not SAP. We are not trying to become an SAP. We are not trying to, but we are just a training platform, right? So we will never become something you buy and then you run your business on it. No, will always be a training platform.
From the last time that we met in Bali, right? We are talking about the news of the marketing module.
Yes.
Maybe you have embedded some ideas about the e-commerce or whatever. When it will be finished?
Okay, that's in the pipeline.
Yeah.
There's a lot in the pipeline. There's a lot in the pipeline. Yeah, that's
And what about the buy versus lease machine decision?
very good. There's leasing machines, so the machine who can lease and so on and so on. Not just the machine, but probably also the investment on the property of the retail. So they introduce a lot of the property investment and all that fixed asset and so on. And another thing very, very big is what do you call it? Expiry date for the product. So we will start having that also. So every product that you buy, you know, there will be an expiry date and there's a batch number, and that has a lot to do with the ERP batch number and so on and so on. So it's very, very deep. It's very, very complicated. I tell you, you know, that's why we start to introduce ranking. What do you call it?
You complete my list first.
Rating. Yeah, because there's certain modules that we don't want to turn on if you're not rating. If you're not rated, let's say, 1,000 or something, because otherwise it is very, very too much, and you probably find that it's too intimate.
By increasing more functions, I believe we probably need 7 to 8 members in the team to ensure.
Yeah, probably we have to. That's why in the future, I think the competition will have rated competition and non-rated. So the rated one would be like, anyone 2,000 and above play on that group, and 2,000 and below can play on this group. Yes. So that's the purpose of that's the purpose of ELO rating coming. Right? I mean, if you Google ELO rating, you'll see how they calculate. It's a very good system.
Yeah, there's one area I would also talk about.
One thing.
Yeah,
at the moment, like in the game, right, you can set the game KPI, right? Is it possible for the team to set their own KPI?
To choose your KPI.
Yeah. Because sometimes like for teaching.
Teacher become irrelevant.
Hmm?
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, but sometimes when you're teaching students, right? And then like suppose like you have a strong team and you have like not so strong team. Your point is like to get students to develop themselves. So if you set a common KPI, sometimes they kind of like
Yeah,
it's
I
like
think that is a topic I want to talk about just now.
Alright, okay.
That's a robotic bootcamps. In fact, we designed the robotic bootcamp with SUSS last year. That is the objective, because when you run the first workshop with the students, you just probably tell them how to navigate the system. You won't have 30 hours to really train them from somebody who doesn't know anything to somebody which is an expert in ERP. So it's not possible. Teacher don't have the time, student don't have the time. So that's where we actually come up with the robotic bootcamps, and we have 4 levels. Now, how many of you actually run robotic bootcamps? Oops. 1. The rest, no idea.
no idea.
They are still in the boot camp.
You want to take the next 10 minutes show the robotic bootcamps?
Nobody use robot camp?
Yeah,
No
that's
idea.
the part I think is.
I use, but
There's a gap here. I think there's a gap here because.
Assigning students with.
Yeah, like this robot, but not.
You have, right?
Yeah, but the robot is.
Did you send them for the robotic bootcamp certification where they have to pass level 1 and then level 2?
Oh, okay, the certification, right?
Yeah, so I think a lot of you have not done that. Maybe that is something you want to revisit, because that is going to help the student set and hit their own KPI technically before they can join the crowd. So once they are ready, they pass level 3, they are quite good. Level 4, they are ready for certification. certification, and they can compete with the rest of them already. So I think this is one area maybe we will find some time.
How many have not seen
มัน
bootcamp?
มันคงมันเป็นคนละประเด็นกับอาจารย์ actually it's a different KPI I think
ไม่ใช่ปะ
I think sorry I think the one that Dr. Ekano just mentioned in each team is they're able to set their own KPI and just win but it's not related to any robot camp anymore
Because
right
what really happened is that you want them to catch up on their own pace, yeah. That's what you want because they are competing with stronger ones. Then they cannot hit the KPI you set. That's what we're talking about, right? So it's knowledge gap we're talking about. So if they pass robotic bootcamp level 4, you can set any target. They should be able to. So you do not need to give them the things to set individual target.
If you have something about the levels of the certification, maybe you just show because we have no idea about what the level that you talk about.
But that's the next one we're going to
Yeah.
show you.
Oh, okay.
Probably you want to suggest a KPI which is not inside the system. Are you
Yeah, that what I did now.
Example.
It's like I stop the game I say like if I run 100 days game, sometimes I stop at the day 15 and then get the P&L show up and then ask each team to set up their own KPI. How would they improve in the next round, in the next 50 days? So I would like to see the progress, not like the compete to each other.
In
So
fact,
like
tomorrow morning there's still one slot available if you want to come in and share from Kazakhstan point of view how you implement the learning part. That will be idea.
Good try.
I don't know what you mean by that. That was actually the last one.
Okay.
No.
I have a game here, and after the game,
Can you just magnify a bit? Yes.
okay, I have a game here, and after the game, I can select this and click
Yes, and sign up the
bootcamp. And you've done that, you select, and then you say I want bootcamp starter.
This is the version 7.
Yes.
I don't have this.
You haven't seen it.
No.
I don't have.
You're gonna get it tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
You click here, and then there's a voucher for you who have subscribed. So if you subscribe, then you have certain voucher. You can use the voucher, and so the student can play it for free. Otherwise, it's $80 US.
But with all of this, it's possible for us to
The training
คืออันที่ก่อนหน้านี้มีแต่ไม่มีโรบอท1 2 3 4
ใช่ไอ้โรบอทเข้ามาเนาะ
Yes.
That would be very good, but maybe it's the future.
ใช่แต่มันไม่มีเลเวล1 2 3 4
So it's like a training student เนี่ยคันนี้คือเหมือนแบบมาให้แบบให้เด็กแคชชัพเลเวลอะ
So we need to rely on robots to play with them.
Yes.
So, but at the same time, because we are not sure about the level of intelligence of the robots, and we want students to be very equal. So it could be we can specify the level like easy, medium, or very.
Okay, so the question is, can we specify the robot's intelligence? Set it to be not so intelligent or more intelligent.
Cannot now.
Currently, the robot is
It's
not
not
very
like-
intelligent.
Yeah. Since the version 7.
Yeah.
Everybody tell me, Abby, where is your robot?
Robot.
The robot is not that smart. Yes,
No.
I know. It's not.
No.
I would put the rating of robot maybe 1,300. That's about it right now. Right? We are not in the business of making super robot to kill everybody. No, we are not. So our robot is really behind. It's not priority. What's the point making it so good And to tell you the truth, we need AI for the robot. It's already impossible for us to develop any more smarter than the robot as it is right now. If we can, it will be cheating, to tell you the truth. Because there is so much to consider at every point in time. You need fuzzy logic. You need a lot of big data behind it, and I need to plug into Azure so that Azure can go in and give me the recommendation action. Now you can use it to develop. Let's cooperate in Ginetas, develop the AI module for robot. We are open for that cooperation if you like.
Abby, it will be a very good research
Yes.
Yes,
Exactly.
really.
Exactly.
Com science and so on.
In fact, just now, early in the morning, I saw one of the students, the MC cut him off and said, we have the data analytics, and he was trying to show some graph. Whose team is that?
I think it's one of the Hong Kong team. They were showing.
Yeah.
They are all
Analytics,
from com science and
Right, and he got caught off. And I
Yeah,
thought
the-
that was
the-
really good.
Yeah, I saw the slide this morning, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. The com-sci teams.
Right. So that is kind of collaboration, if you like, that
Yeah,
you can
yeah.
take it and develop.
Which university?
So basically, if you want to do that, my suggestion is that you download all the data, or you do, prepare your big data, and you get yourself Azure license or some kind of license, AI license, and then develop your model, regression model, whatever. You can use the basic one, regression model, and just try to develop, see if get intelligent. We don't know. And there's so much, it's going to be so complex because it's just not a 3x3 matrix. There's a lot of metrics in there. And there's very serious project for development. Okay. Okay?
So
You can just collect this and then you send this voucher to the student. And the student can just sign up and play.
how different from level 1, 2, 3, 4? Just give me a brief.
The modules is different. Level 1 only like 4 modules, and level 2 is 7 modules, and then 9 modules and 12 modules.
Okay.
So like a training for the
It's a training, and if you progressive, and if you each level you have 10 retry. And you fail, you try again, fail, you try again. And then once you pass, they will recommend you to the next step. Then you just click and sign up, next step, and then the next step, next step.
This will happen on when? Tomorrow? August 13, right?
Which one?
This one.
This is already there.
It's already there.
For me, right, some of my students, because now in version 7 you have e-commerce, but I taught the course last year. So for the competition, I just sign them up and then let them go and explore themselves. Because otherwise I have to go back and teach them about e-commerce where I myself have very little experience.
Right.
Yeah, so I do that.
Yeah, I think our job really, eventually, what we want to help our CT is not that you need to be better than the student, no. You just need to have the access to the data, and you just need to configure it and let the student learn. Because we have active learning guide, they can learn by themselves. We got the robot, they got the clock game, they can definitely learn by themselves. So your work is really to get more supplementary knowledge, to teach them. Your role is to motivate them. Maybe your role is maybe to create competition, get them excited. I think that's more important, yeah. So you don't need to remember so much. Okay? So that's a lot of things coming into question. Hopefully I see you all in the next one.
ไม่ก็คือไม่ปกติ
So any question on the robotic hands? This is actually, if I look at it from my point of view, I actually share with some of the lecturers and some universities. I think the challenge is really back to the basis. You have 100 students to do it. But the question is that there's always 20% which is very good. And there's always 80% of them who hasn't had a clue of what's going on in the first 1 hour or 2 hours. So once you help them navigate through the first session, use the bootcamp straight away. And the bootcamp will tell you whether the student do the job or not, because they can take it to McDonald's and then start, play away in McDonald's or in any Starbucks with a Wi-Fi connection. So once they pass it, you will be informed about whether they pass or not. So that is a sort of escalation process where you can bring the student knowledge up without you spending the time there. Okay, and if they have questions, they can always come back and ask you how to achieve this, how to do that. And that is the part that we want, the active learning part. We want the student to raise questions, not us forcing the question down their throat. So I think that is a very important takeaway for the model. And in fact, we spend a lot of time. No doubt what Abby said is not really kind of high level AI at this point of time, but it's good enough to train somebody who has zero knowledge into somebody who know how to run a proper video, a proper production process, a proper, profit and loss. They can at least read that information, which is very important to any of the student who is basically do not have knowledge in this area at all. So this is an objective. So it's nothing more than that. And all of the city, hopefully you can really start using it now. Alright? Because it's been built for that purpose. Yes. Alright. The city certification actually is for those city who hasn't sit for examination. It is equivalent to level 4. Yeah.
Yes. There are two types of certification. There are certification where for the student where you understand, and certification for actual running the game. We are going to come up with a set of questions that you need to pass as a trainer. And it has nothing to do with the student. It's for as a trainer. So there is, and the passing rate has to be 95%. You cannot make any mistake.
For the new one or for the...
For the new trainer, for the new CT, for the new CT.
I don't want certificate.
It's not meant to fail you. Because you have 10 retry. If not, we give you another voucher for 10 retries. And it is very good training. I give you one other example, right? For example, one of your students came in late. What are you going to do? That kind of question, right? And the answer will tell you to improve your training knowledge. So if you answer it wrongly, then you don't pass, but you'll see the answer. So you can click and see the answer and then, okay, so I didn't know that. Okay, now I know how to do it. So like for example, okay, how do you set, how do you save the session? So the questions are designed to help you learn to become better CT. It's not about how to do MRP, it's about your running the game. So that sort of question, and we will have a lot of those questions coming, and designed not to fail anyone, but to give you knowledge without. It's forcing you to learn. Really, otherwise you're not going to learn. Because as you answer, you see your answer.
Okay, give the first generation CT 20 try.
Do you agree with that? No one agree? Yes, right? Why? It's good because you improve your training. And so every new model, for example, when we launch this for import, we're going to have a set of questions about import. So you have to really go through that and answer like 100%. Then you can then you run the import. Right? Otherwise, when I say, okay, let's have a web seminar, nobody joins. I mean, I tried it one time, but nobody joined. So the only way I forced you guys to learn is by creating those questions.
The headmaster.
Examination, and you have to click and then you see the answer. That's how you pick it up.
Is that what you mean by e-learning? E-learning or something like that?
Yeah, well, it's some sort of learning, but it's through question.
Maybe.
Okay? It's okay. It's gonna take you a few hours.
Hey, come on! You just put the program. You just put the program. The CT who get the certification will get the research helping, something like that. Oh.
Get the research what?
Support. Must be more encouraged.
Encouragement, yeah. Motivation.
Yes.
Okay, I think it's about time now. 3:45, the conversation is going to end very soon, about 5 minutes time. So we're going to end the session today, and thank you very much for participation. Thank you.